Hammers up, everyone. Towley here. Shaman, Torghast, Anima powers are in. Shamans are now playable on the Shadowlands Alpha. You can now queue, or well, we can now queue, or anyone out there that's an alpha can queue. Once again, this is stream footage that I just chopped up to, make this video for you all. So I want to talk to you about a little bit of the overpowered Anima powers that Shamans have. I mean, they're just broken. This video is just called Shamans and Torghast are fucking broken. So pretty much, you hex a target. This is an Anima power, by the way. You hex a target, and it just takes 2% of its health as damage, and it ticks, as you can see in the video. And then it heals you back too. You also get healing. You see, I'm getting healed for the amount I think that is being taken away from the mob. And because Hex lasts so long and the cooldown's only 30 seconds, I mean, you could just kind of get through these like really huge high level floors, as long as they're humanoids or beasts, and just hex your way through, and the Anima powers actually stack. So yeah. And there are so many other overpowered abilities. I mean, there's like Frost Shock kills mall rats instantly, which is great if you combine that with like the exploding plague one. And I was in here with a few friends. I was here with D Carter, Sloop Bag, or Sloop. Sorry, it's Sloop now. Can't put the bag in there. Gotta say Sloop, my boy, my BFF, and another friend. We were all in here, and at this point, everyone was just like, "Well, the run's over. Okay, there's not really a challenge anymore. We can just hex our way to the end, and you can actually hex elites too." So, I mean, a good way to fix this, obviously, would be for Blizzard to, number one, not allow the hex to last that long on a target. Say, the hex will last, only like this percentage of its normal duration, like 10% of its normal duration. So maybe like 7-8 seconds. Even then, and it's, once again, it's stacked. So it goes 2%, 4, 6, 8, and it goes, I think it caps out at 10. So at some point you have like a 1 million mob, and you just like hex it, and it just in 10 seconds it's like fucking dead. I mean, that was probably bad math, and now you're gonna see another really overpowered ability, or Anima power. We got to keep remembering to calling them Anima powers. And it deals with lust. Now there's a lot of lust Anima powers, but this one is broken if you're an enhancement shaman. You're going to see that in a bit. During this video, at this point, we were deciding, well, do we keep going with the run, or do we just stop? Like Hex is just broken. There's no reason to continue. It'd be like we're just kind of, I don't know, we're like, fapping off to the side and waiting for mobs to die. I could have just cleared this on my own and just literally just told everyone, hey, guys, come back later if you want. I mean, I'll let you know when we're at the end of the dungeon or the floor so we can continue. Yeah. So, yeah, and then there's another one that for every totem you have down, you have, I think it's like 200% more damage and healing done. So imagine putting down totemic mastery, or whatever the one that the talent, binding, fucking searing, wind fury, healing totem, everything, and now your damage is just increased by a shit ton, and that one stacks too. So at some point you're going through this dungeon, right, with mobs being hexed and just dying almost in a matter of seconds. You have like 400-500% more damage done. Your lightning bolts as an elemental shaman, are every talent is like 30%. You stack that 5 times. It's crazy, just the amount of lunacy that is involved in Torghast, and I love it. I love it, man. It's actually really great. So, and then on top of that, there is another one, which I like very much. It is bloodlust related, as I mentioned earlier. Now, there's some bloodlust ones that say, well, if you want, you can get 10 more seconds added to your bloodlust, right? There's other ones that say, the haste from bloodlust is increased by whatever amount of percent. But now, what about infinite bloodlust? Yeah, So now, every totem you drop gives you and your party 5 seconds of Bloodlust. Now, some totems are on cooldowns, but we found that if you're an enhancement shaman, you can drop Wind Fury totem infinitely. Well, I mean, for as much mana as you have. I mean, it does cost mana, but your mana regens so quickly. So during I guess like the second half of our run, I got this anima power. That's all it said. It was like, for every totem you drop, 5 seconds of Bloodlust. So I just started dropping Wind Fury over and over again, Searing, Healing Stream. I just kept dropping totems. So smashing my 7 button over and over and over again. And you look at the buff here, it just keeps stacking. And I think at one point we had Bloodlust stacked up to like 11 minutes. So yeah. Like, that's insane. I mean, you can synergize that with like other classes and specs that benefit highly from Bloodlust. So I don't even need to hit Bloodlust anymore. I just keep spamming Wind Fury totem for no reason. I mean, I felt like I wasn't even DPSing. I kind of felt like a bard. Like I was just like the support of this entire group. My job was just to keep putting down the totem, and as long as I put down the totem over and over and over and over again, we had just like infinite amounts of Bloodlust. And then it came to another point where I was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep doing it until we hit like an hour of Bloodlust. But then I died, and then it removed my Bloodlust buff. Everybody kept theirs, so I kept buffing it for everybody. But I mean, these are so far like just the kind of overpowered abilities that shamans have. Between them and mages, I can't even tell like who's more OP in Torghast. And obviously, this is all still in testing. Changes will be made. I'm sure Blizzard will fix a lot of these. Or, you know what? Maybe they won't. I keep telling people. I mean, the point of this entire dungeon is for Blizzard to create like this separate space of insane class class and class spec fantasy. People just coming out with these outrageous ideas. Blizzard devs coming out with outrageous ideas for each of our specs to just do, just insane amounts of damage or healing. I think there was a there I am spamming it again. I don't know what's immune at this point. There was like, a cool one for Shaman where you drop Healing Stream Totem and everyone gets healed for 100% healing extra. And that one just kept stacking. And I by the time I got to like 1,000%, I mean, no AoE damage was going to kill us on these floors. So, I mean, they definitely have to fix probably the tuning of the mobs, if anything. I can't imagine that we could just smoke our way to like the 50th or 60th floor. Or they might take some of these anima powers and rank them internally and be like, all right, well, you're not going to get the Bloodlust purple one until, way later in the floors. But then that would kind of take away from the fantasy of Torghast. I mean, I want to be able to enter Torghast, kill a rare, or open up a phylactery, and then open and be like, hey, bam. For every totem I have down, I do 40% more damage. That'd be great. That's like a good starter. It's also RNG, and you know how we feel about RNG. But once again, I truly believe as you climb the tower, you're going to have enough anima power to get through, to hit maybe your cap of what you can, to go ahead and collect your legendary crafting materials or whatnot. But tell me what you guys think about this shaman stuff, man. How would you change these? I mean, I gave some suggestions, but I don't know. There's a part of me, man, I just don't want to change it. Anyway, twitch.tv/Towley. Catch more of the new classes and specs being played in Torghast on the channel. Subscribe to my YouTube if you guys want to keep watching, weekly videos as the alpha and the beta are upon us. And thank you very much for your time and stuff. And that's definitely not a dick in the background of my camera, but people, palm tree, it's a dick, it's whatever. It's a T, goddammit. It's just the panels just don't go straight down.